Hello and welcome to the Bel-E and Scratch podcast. I am your host, Bel-E.
And I am your co-host, Scratch.
And today, I believe you said you wanted to talk about something.
Oh, well, kick me in the shin straight out the gate.
As I always do. I mean, not unless you want me to bitch about something.
No, I mean, I had I thought we were going to maybe warm up to it.
I mean, we can. I mean, today was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Kind of a lazy,
nice,
lazy Sunday.
Back, lazy Sunday.
Despite the fact that we all, vacuumed and cooked and cleaned, and I burned sage and incense, because the air is stifling!
Yeah, burning sage is a good thing. I
or just
that.
Burning herbs in general.
Well, I mean, everything that you can, you can purchase something from the store, but it's all chemical.
Yeah.
What,
like Febreze and whatnot?
Yeah, those types of things. And, and there's nothing wrong with that per se.
No,
But then there's that whole thing of injecting, synthetic chemicals into your house and, fluorocarbons and...
Yeah.
Other things, when...
Mm-hmm.
You never know. You might, when you walk across your backyard, or, you might step over something.
Yeah.
That is edible, that is useful.
Oh, I know there is.
Medicinal, that is,
There is a plant that lives around the house. I think it's called nettlebane. It's medicinal.
Uh-huh.
Except the problem is that we got 2 dogs. And they have a tendency to be as dogs and therefore pee on everything.
Yes, that's true.
Now, granted, most plants have been peed and pooped on by various, God's creatures or whatever, creator's creature, whatever you believe in.
I'm sure.
So it's always good to wash them off, but until I get my hands on an actual survival manual, I'm not picking those things out of the yard and using them for anything until I have a concrete... peer-reviewed source that says, yes, this will not give me tinnitus and kill me.
Won't paralyze you from the tongue down.
You will not see unholy eldritch beings and then die.
Yeah, I got a couple of those books in this house somewhere.
I'm just talking about one specifically, something specifically targeting our region of the country.
Sure.
That I might have to go out and get, because some of the stuff you have, it's West Coast, Mid-Coast.
One definitely.
One is definitely West Coast, and I did have a lot of fun with that when we were on the West Coast.
When we were on the West Coast, yeah.
But down here, I need something a little bit more concrete. Also, I know it's legit.
I'm sure there's some universal plants that cover the continent.
Oh, of course.
But,
But I want something specific to our area.
Sure.
It's not a field guide until it warns you about copperheads. That's how you know it's legit. The first 3 pages had better be the chapters, index, introductory. Oh, by the way, watch out for copperheads, you stupid motherfucker. And this is what they look like.
Not a whole bunch of them around here, but when I was a kid, they were all over the place. But that was north of here.
North of here, yeah. Do you think it's because there's a lot of, I have noticed that there's been a little bit of an increase in, I don't want to say they're falcons, but definitely birds of prey have been circling this particular spot.
Around here?
Yeah, around here, like above the house.
I don't know if it has anything to do with the rodent population, but I would imagine it could have an impact.
It's a bird of prey.
I'm not arguing your point, I'm just saying.
But either way,
I don't know if that has a large enough impact on the overall population. I'm sure. Why not?
Well, I mean, you inject a bunch of birds of prey in one area. Suddenly, everything on the ground starts looking a little less present. Almost like they're not there anymore.
I always have those flashbacks to back when
that feels good.
Back when these home video TV shows first started.
What, you mean like AFV?
Yes. When they first started,
yeah,
there was a video that made the rounds. I don't know, some elderly lady getting out of an RV, walking her dog somewhere in the Dakotas, I think, or Wyoming or something like that.
Somewhere up there.
And this thing came out of the sky. I think it was an eagle.
Maybe a golden eagle. Those things get pretty big.
But it swooped down and snatched that dog up.
Mm-hmm.
That was when they really hadn't established the full-blown...
oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that?
So yeah, that was pretty...
Can't you tighten it?
Let's see. Yeah, that's a good point.
But
there was some kind of thing, I mean, it seemed...
technical difficulties.
Got some technical difficulties here.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. Oh, that's what I gotta do.
Yeah, we're just trying to ignore all the post noises if you can hear them. We're just trying to batten down the hatches, quite literally. But yeah, there are some pretty scary things still in the world.
Well...
like things where it'd be akin to dinosaurs.
The whole predator-prey thing.
Yeah, that whole thing of, oh, what if we're not actually at the top of the food chain? Shut up, Dave.
Your Chihuahua sure isn't, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, exactly. I remember, there's a comic, now I'm not sure, I don't know how big a fan of him you are, Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
He's alright. My favorite stand-up of his is when him and his family actually took a trip to Africa.
Yeah.
Like, Africa. I don't know which part of Africa. If I had to guess, it would have to be southern. Because...
Sure.
If I had to guess.
Southern Africa.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. If I had to hazard a guess, it's been a while. Yeah, why not? If I had to hazard a guess.
Northern Africa is more like Egyptian.
Yeah, that definitely religion where you can't draw their guy. It's definitely the middle to the southern half of Africa where you get all that stereotypical stuff of the all the black people dancing around with drums and didgeridoo, or not didgeridoos. That's Australia.
That's Australia.
Doumbeks, but whatever. So he gets a letter from, I think it's from the hotel that they were staying at.
Yeah.
I think, and it said 3 things. One, be sure you in a very calm way. Be sure be sure you're up to date on your medical stuff. We have enough. Please don't bring your pets. We have enough wildlife for the rest of us. Yeah,
because we call them hors d'oeuvres.
Yes.
Some predator swooping down and taking your pet.
Yeah, exactly. That actually happened.
Wildlife hors d'oeuvres, really?
Yes. Because here's the thing. Steve Harvey went through this particular letter. I don't remember what the third point was, but he basically said, okay, the first point means get every shot known to man before you enter this country.
Pretty much.
Just before you enter the continent itself.
I recommend it.
Yeah. And he paid attention to the second one, which basically meant that he interpreted it as lions are going to eat your dog. And apparently on the plane trip over to this particular location, he saw a fellow passenger on the plane, a woman.
Right.
And she had a little itty-bitty dog.
Uh-huh.
And Steve Harvey was like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. And sure enough, about a couple hours to a couple days later, that woman was up at the front desk, and Steve Harvey happened to be there, he says. That woman was screaming and crying because she couldn't find her dog. She apparently was out walking the dog, as you do with your dog, and that dog didn't come back. According to Steve Harvey, he said, when you were out looking for your dog, did you hear something that sounded like a bone-sucking, like... She's like,
tasty.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just crying hysterical, and she's like, yeah, I heard that. And Steve was like, the dog's gone.
The dog is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
no, I'm not trying to make light of it. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's just the way it is.
There's a pecking order in the animal kingdom, like it or not.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Not everything is all sunshine and rainbows. Don't be that guy who's like...
Or gumdrops.
You don't be that dude. Don't be that dude.
Don't be that dude.
No. There's a particular dude that you don't want to be.
No.
Don't be that dude who's like, I desperately want to feed myself to the Alaskan polar bears if it wasn't for the fact that an airline trip to the Arctic was so detrimental to the environment. Don't be that guy.
I dreamed to be a polar bear turd. No.
Yeah, don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
There actually was that guy.
I don't doubt it.
No. Back when we were living on the West Coast, there was like this documentary about some dude.
Oh, that guy.
That ass clown. This dude was, what was it, Alaska? He went to Alaska with his girlfriend.
Somewhere up there.
Yeah, he went to...
Mr. Bear.
Exactly.
Smacking these big grizzlies in the snout.
Yeah, because for some reason he got in his head where, be it how he was raised, be it some sort of mental disorder, but he somehow got it in his head that animals operated on the same intellectual capacity as you and me.
Obviously.
And, hey, guess what? They don't.
No, they don't.
It's like Joe Rogan said, no, they're too fucking dumb to farm. That's what's up. That's exactly up.
No, that was an experience watching that documentary.
Oh, I bet it blew your mind. The fact that someone like that existed.
I knew it was a white guy.
Yes, and it was.
And it was. That might segue into kind of what I'm.
Oh, perfect.
Let's explore this guy that was eaten by a bear. He obviously was raised in an environment that
clearly
was a little off kilter.
How off kilter are we talking? Because
I never tell me the wisdom of somebody that thinks it's an okay idea to go hang out with and slap around freaking Kodiak bears, like the largest. It's the largest It is the largest land predator on the North American continent.
A Kodiak bear.
A Kodiak bear.
Like,
And as far as I know, in this entire hemisphere.
Yeah.
It is the largest
land-based
predator.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's not just land-based predator. As far as my understanding,
land-based as far as like being native. Still having technical difficulties.
Still having some technical difficulties here.
Maybe we need a new J screw.
No, it just needs to be
tightened. Oh God, I hope the post editing will filter all this ruffling out. Or actually, maybe it's SMR time. Maybe it's time for the SMR. You're being lulled into this nice, tender sleep. You're gonna have some good dreams. Don't be like those asshats that like to watch Rick and Morty and take it too fucking seriously. Don't be like that. Is that what you want to be known for in your life? You want to be known for being an asshat that listens to Rick and Morty and thinks it's the greatest thing since Leonardo da Vinci? Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that gets eaten by bears.
Oh.
Are you good? Is ASMR time over? I was improv-ing that like a mother... That has to turn into a highlight.
Sure.
I know we don't do highlights super duper often, but that, I feel, is one.
We'll go dig a bunch out one day.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's plenty.
Oh, there is plenty.
No, but people, Kodiak bear. In other words, and Kodiak bears also do something that no other predator that I'm aware of will actually do, and that includes black bears and polar bears and
brown bears,
various
other species of bear,
Russian bears. You commie bastards.
Give me the vodka, motherfucker.
And that is it's called a Kodiak War Party. They will actually gather 2 or more and actually hunt human beings.
So not only are they man-eaters, they're they have the capacity to be pack animals too.
Well, yeah, they do have the capacity to be pack animals, but what I'm saying is they will under certain circumstances, is my understanding. Obviously,
under certain circumstances,
I have come across material that suggested that they actually will gather and hunt a human being.
Huh.
And that is something that is...
What, kind of like in the movie The Edge?
Kind of.
Except that was just one bear.
You just had one bear.
One bear who, what was that bear's name? That's a well-known bear.
It was probably Bert.
Bert the bear.
Bert the bear.
Yeah, back, prior to CGI, anytime more than likely, if you ever see an old movie from the early 2000s to 90s to 80s
to 80s,
if they had an actual bear on set, it was probably Bert.
It was probably Bert.
Who in real life he probably was a sweetheart. I think The Edge was
obviously.
Obviously,
you don't have a long career like that by being a man-eater on set.
No. I'm sure Bert the bear was a sweetheart.
Yeah. No.
I think that movie, The Edge, was like the last movie Bert did.
All right, John Candy, in this scene right here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, right before the bear begins to eat your ass, we're going to bring in Brad over here, and Brad's going to take the hit for you. All right. Ready? All right. Places, everyone. No. No, he obviously was a sweetheart.
Yeah. But
this cat had
this dude.
This
crazy mother.
People can chalk it up to and I'm sure they've tried. I'm sure if some type of psychological some type of psychological conditional name has been applied to him, obviously.
Yeah, clearly. And we're not disregarding that.
No, I'm not minimizing that at all.
No.
Okay.
No.
Although
it seems
I think it's highly possible that he grew up with a narrative that ultimately did not serve him.
Yeah.
Let's try that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying it was right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's immoral or moral. I'm just saying that something
clearly didn't work.
I can't imagine raising my kid with the thought of, oh, hey, one day I hope you'll be a bear turd.
Yeah, exactly.
But somewhere in there, something was suggested to him, and pretty heavily in a very strong foundation.
Sure.
It's like these people that have problems watching these wildlife films where one animal hunts, attacks, and eats
another
animal. And they're so sad. That's so terrible.
That's nature.
That's just nature.
Okay. Yeah. There's a reason.
The sun rises in the east and it sets in the west, and then
the moon pops up.
And then the moon pops out most of the time.
Yeah, and it changes its face a lot.
And that's just the way it is.
It's not good or bad.
It's not good or bad. It's just, hey. This
small segue. Based on that whole thing of, a lion going out and eating a gazelle. That's not good or bad, it's just how it is.
It's just how it is.
Small segue. We don't have to get too in deep in it. I'm just gonna do what I usually do, which is throw a grenade in a room and then just walk back out.
Just walk away.
Yeah. Because apparently I love doing that. I think it was Mark Twain that said that human beings clearly are evil by default.
Twain said that?
Twain said that, which makes sense.
I can see how Twain would think that, yes.
Now, yeah, exactly. It's Mark Twain.
Mark Twain.
What did you expect?
Oh.
Yeah. Great writer, but Jesus, he was kind of cynical in some aspects.
He was an interesting fellow.
Yeah. Now, this is a loose quotation of
Sure.
this, and I do believe it has been attributed to Mark Twain, but it has to do with mankind has to be evil by default, because we understand what the difference between good and evil is.
Yeah.
Versus an animal that just goes out, gets its food, finds a nice place to sleep.
Oh.
It does not plan. It does not weigh these options.
Well, that's evil by default. Absolutely.
Yes.
That because it has more to do with how we define the action than the motive of the action itself.
Precisely.
Okay.
Yes.
If I was to say, if I found myself in a situation where my personal survival, and I'm in a room full of 10 people.
Yes.
Okay, my personal survival depended on me being the only person to walk out that door, and I did whatever it was I had to do.
Yeah.
Whatever it would, to be that one person that walked out the door.
Yes.
Obviously, I would be involved in activity that is defined as evil. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. But here's the thing: there's that whole thing of you would not consider it evil because you did what you did. You did what you had to survive.
That's how people in court cases get off of murder charges.
Yes, and that's also kind of the view anytime something with cannibalism for survival comes up as well.
Right.
You did what you had to do.
You did what you had to do.
Live another day.
Yeah.
You know, Donner Party, the original story for Moby Dick. The plane crashing in the Andes, I believe.
The soccer team. Yeah.
The soccer team.
Yeah.
Or football team, whatever.
Yeah,
you know, but a lot of people, for some reason, they approach a scenario like that from what I believe is called utilitarianism, which is basically, what the example you give is basically the needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many. I just said it.
Utilitarianism.
Utilitarianism essentially is the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. If there was 10 people in a room and it was morally right for person number 10 to have the absolute dog kicked out of them by the other 9 people, based on utilitarianism, it is morally right to beat the hell out of that 10th person.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean,
now that's a broad example, but, you know.
It is a more natural response to take everyone else out so you can live versus be someone who
was taken out.
To mentally commit to, okay, I'm going to take one for the team, kill me next.
I think there's a movie I've yet to watch called The Bilco Experiment that tackles this exact topic.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
It's a horror movie, obviously, because this is kind of a horrific subject. Basically, the Bilco Experiment, to my knowledge, now mind you, I haven't seen it, I've seen clips of it. It's basically, there's this huge office building somewhere in, I think, South America? But it's being run by an American company, so I don't know.
I've heard of it, but I don't know anything.
The only way into this particular office building is through a militarized checkpoint, in and out. People have their retinal scan, they have badges, it is secured to the nines. And then one day they get everybody in. I guess no one decided to take a sick day. And then all of a sudden this announcement comes over the intercom system and says, hey, there's blankety blank many employees inside the building. And we're going to start this experiment to see basically last man standing. So we're going to need for all of you to kill each other for that one person to survive. And if you don't comply, we're just going to activate the chip inside your brain and explode your heads. And hey, guess what? One dude's like, oh, it's a prank, it's a drill.
April Fools.
Yeah, April Fools. His head explodes, of course, because he's a dumbass.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying.
What if they Yeah, what if it was April 1st?
Exactly. Oh, look, I'm just gonna say this straight up. No matter what the scenario is, no matter how good in cahoots with your superiors you are or with your coworkers, something comes over the intercom saying, "Hey, we need you to kill everyone inside of this particular building. Do not treat it as a joke." I know it's a movie, and it is a movie, but just in case that somehow comes up, hey, you might want to start panicking. Anyway, so I didn't want to get too deep into that. Back to the dude getting eaten by the Kodiak bear, segueing into whatever.
In other words, okay, all right. The foundational the foundational understanding of his existence was flawed. I submit to the listener. Okay, don't talk to me about. See, I grew up with Jane Goodall.
Yes.
Who
she didn't get eaten.
Who slowly learned the behavior of the apes that she was interacting with.
Yeah.
And endeared herself in a manner that made her a part of the tribe.
But here's the thing: she did it slowly.
She did it.
She didn't just hop in there and say, "Hey, I'm one of y'all."
Right.
Within like 3 days.
What he didn't understand, and what a lot of people don't understand about this guy's interaction with these Kodiak bears, is that his behavior was so outside their norm.
Yeah.
As long as they were a stable society, he got away with it.
Yeah.
But then a particular harsh winter came, and food sources dried up. And
so
and then it was actually a rogue bear. It was it wasn't one of the group that I don't know what the collection of bears is called. It's not a herd or dinner time.
A death of bears.
A death of bears. Actually, one individual bear would technically be considered the death of bear. That third bowl of porridge, just right.
Mm-hmm. Precisely.
But it's no. I mean, so when food sources were plentiful,
the bears tolerated
the bears tolerated it, and then he misunderstood. Obviously, he misunderstood. What made his interaction with these bears functional?
Which was the fact they were not going to eat him.
That they were not going to eat him. They all had full bellies, and they just kind of tolerated him as an intrusion to their little society.
Yeah, this screeching California boy.
And then a particular harsh cycle arrived in the environment. I'm assuming it was a fall or a winter or something. And then a bear from outside his influence or interaction arrived on the scene.
And he's like, "Hey."
And what he didn't realize, what he thought was him specifically, individually, had been more of an environmental situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So this bear was hungry, and this bear was not like these other bears had grown tolerant of his activity when times were good.
Yes, but this particular rogue bear just kind of.
But this rogue bear didn't know anything about him, and
he just saw food.
Right, and it came down to it that, and I'm sure I can't even imagine the actual. As far as I know, they have it on tape.
Oh,
they at least have the soundtrack.
Oh, well, that's
this bear turning on him and killing him.
Oh, that's just perfect.
And eating him, and the girlfriend is somewhere in there too.
Yeah, of course.
You can hear her screaming in the background.
Yeah, that's what I need to complete my vinyl collection right there. Dude and girlfriend getting mauled to death and eaten by a bear. I want that on vinyl right now.
Okay.
Jesus. That's just perfect.
So, and that segues really well into
what you were talking about.
my subject for today,
Yes.
and that is, and I don't really have a formal name for it. It's just an observation of mine,
Yes.
based on my interaction with people, and that is,
Yes.
you know, pay attention to whatever your life involves right now.
Mhm.
And I am going to be talking about someone who I think they're living a good life. Don't take for granted the foundational aspect of why you are able to enjoy your life as much as you do. Okay.
Wait, are you talking about the type of people where they're not from here, but they move here and then complain?
That is a that's a very prominent example of an outsider's interaction
Yeah.
with what I'm talking about, but I'm
Okay.
talking about someone
Specific.
who's on the inside,
Oh.
who doesn't understand what's on the outside,
And then they complain.
and they have issues with the community and society at large around them.
Honestly and truly, I think you definitely have a right to tell this person to shut the hell up. Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing.
I mean, but you don't.
You grew up in this culture,
I did.
like, for a long time, and then you decided, no, I want to find something better. And then you went to the other side of the fence. We moved around the country.
Right.
Ended up on the West Coast for a good number of years.
Yeah.
You saw what the opposite of this community
right.
was.
Exactly.
And you went, oh, this sucks.
Right.
And we went back.
I could see, yes, where we live now, it has its deficits just like any other place, any other
Everything's
culture.
got pros and cons.
Everything's got pros and cons. But the foundational aspect of where we live now, so far as the understanding, the establishment of personal human interaction has been established in a way that it's easy to underestimate its power and comfort that it allows. Because you don't know the other side. Okay, so this guy, you know, he obviously was raised in a way that allowed him to think. I have had positive and negative interaction with animals in my life, but I never.
You mean squirrels?
Squirrels, dogs,
sea lions,
cats, sea lions. Yeah, sea lion. I was thinking I was like 4 or 5. But anyway,
well, okay, that doesn't count. You were a child. That doesn't count.
I don't think so.
I just thank God for Grandma.
You know, this guy had established a certain amount of behavior, and he didn't realize that. It was more than just him. Okay, it was everything around him that gave him the opportunity and ability to interact with these bears the way he did.
Yes.
And it was a bear that was not from what was established.
Yeah.
And an
outsider bear.
And a bear from another, a bear from a situation and an interaction that did involve anything like him.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how that translates to what we do and how we live on a daily basis where we are from. All right. So, I have a coworker who is a very sweet and intelligent person. She's very clever.
Scully?
Yeah.
I have not officially met this person, but you have told me about this person.
She has a tremendous amount of potential. She has for her age, she is very clever in her offerings of interaction with people. She's very astute, and she's very.
She apparently wants to get in D&D.
I don't think foolish for the sense of being foolish is. Here's the thing. Okay. There is what I was trying to explain to her. She was playing up. There's some recent video of some individual sliding down a stripper pole.
Oh!
And
I ignore that.
yeah, I know I do too.
I'm not gonna lie. The song sounds awesome, but the music video was like, why did you do... You know what? I don't even care, because this doesn't affect me. Sure.
Okay. And she was talking in a way that not only was she saying that, you know, there was this pride in her tone. About him being... this individual being strong enough to stand up against people who were his critics, and you know, there's this religious connotation that comes into play.
What, she was happy that this particular music video got made, or she was against it?
She was definitely for it.
Okay.
I'm
trying to figure out what's happening.
But her, I could pick up in the innuendo of what she was saying was good for him. These people that have an issue with him deserve being disturbed and pushed around and thumped and all that stuff. But, you know, and maybe they do.
Sure.
Obviously, some people have crossed the line. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I just know him. I don't have to read what was said to him to know that somebody went over.
Going to say something.
Somebody went over the line. That's just the way people are. It doesn't have anything to do with this situation.
Yeah, you can be secular or religious. You can cross
that line.
It
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, sooner or later, if enough people make a comment, then somebody is absolutely going to go way out of bounds.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, nowadays, a lot of people do it just for the shock value.
Yeah, those are called trolls.
Yeah.
So.
And,
yeah, I choose to believe that music video was basically
she's looking down her nose at people in this area who would have an issue with the subject matter that this individual had the video about or sang the song about. And it's just like we talk about people coming in this area from outside this area. You come from a place. If you live here, and I had to leave it to understand it.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to leave this area for 10 years before it dawned on me that I was a lot better off here than I was not.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand is you know, religious people get on my nerves too.
Yeah, they really do.
They really do. But what you don't realize is that the culture that these people, these religious people propagate?
I guess.
Is that a good word?
Sure.
Potentiate, create.
Basically, the religious culture surrounding this area.
Surrounding this area has made it an area that's livable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Livable.
Like,
you don't really have to walk down the street looking over your shoulder.
No, you really don't. I mean, as a general thing.
Yeah, because...
I mean, I can remember a time when we didn't lock our doors. I can remember a time when we didn't lock our cars. Now, everybody locks their doors and everybody locks their cars.
Sure.
But you don't you don't leave your house or get out of your vehicle, as a rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Unless you're in one or more of the larger urban areas,
sure.
Which is
that's kind of normal.
That's a universal thing to an urban area, and that's a discussion all into itself about
possibly paywall.
The end of the age. The closer anything comes to, everything is going to be like a city.
Yeah.
And then
immediately descends into chaos.
And then that will be the end of the age. But anyway, that's another discussion.
Yeah.
But as on the average, you don't get out of your car and lock it on Main Street and walk around looking over your shoulder.
Yeah. So basically, this coworker of yours that I've yet to meet because she wants to make a character sheet and I'm all for it.
Sure.
Basically, you're telling me that this situation is she is happy that the just the completely obnoxious religious people who are mostly in it just to be religious and not really the spiritual aspect, for the most part.
For the most part.
Yeah, I'm not saying all of them are like that. I'm just saying you know who the pew biddies are.
I do.
You know who the biddies are. But she was happy that these people's feathers were being ruffled, despite the fact that these people have, in spite of themselves, they've cultivated a livable place,
right,
where you can feel safe.
Those foundational
and not have to walk around with a gun all the time.
Exactly.
It's not that people have to have a gun,
no,
but they do have them because that's the culture.
But that's the culture. Okay.
Yeah, it's
they don't necessarily. Yes, they do carry them for protection, but it isn't like Dodge City where you carry this weapon because you will use it.
Yes.
99.9% of the time you're not going to use it. And there are plenty of them out. And then there is an argument to be made as to why you won't have to use it, because the people, that element that would engage in an activity that would cause weapons to be pulled.
They're going to shoot back.
The thing about it is they know that there's at least half the people in the crowd are armed.
Yeah. Yeah, this is why...
And that does keep that sort of activity down. It just does.
Yeah, there's a reason.
Okay,
yeah,
it just does.
There's a reason why even in the poorer sections around here, why people don't just openly kill each other in the streets or in the roads. I can
tell you a number of times the reason that I didn't get mixed up with somebody in a road rage incident is because you don't know what they got in their vehicle.
Exactly.
I'm like, you know what? I got to be somewhere I'm going.
Yeah, exactly.
But what people don't understand is, it took me, I used to hate it too, and it took me a long time to see the value of it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The difference is you left.
I left.
You left and said...
And lived in places that didn't have these fundamental aspects to the community.
Yes.
Except... And here was the other thing, okay?
Uh-huh. Here's the other half. Here's the other shoe.
And this also applies to her as well.
Okay.
What she doesn't realize is that when she hangs around people who are like-minded with her, and don't there's
deviate.
there's a certain protection that they are under because of the foundational aspects of the society that built these communities around us.
Yeah.
The only other safety measure,
yes,
is affluence or white privilege.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that she's out of. I mean,
gentrification.
You can't help what you look like when you're born.
No.
Okay.
No, you can't.
You can't. All right. You didn't plan it, and nobody's going to make me feel sorry for being born looking a certain way.
No.
All right.
Because you didn't have the option.
Because I didn't have the option.
You aren't some. Here's the thing.
Boop.
For some reason, people have it in their head. I don't know what the source of this is, but I don't know how it keeps going. But for some reason, people seem to have this mentality of when you're about to be created, you're going through a character creation menu for your human body, and you consciously pick all these decisions when, in reality, that's not how it works. Because if that's how life worked, there'd be a lot more weirder roaming the earth.
Oh, there wouldn't be any difference in this at all.
Yeah, exactly.
You see all these people.
Whole oversoul thing.
I find it so interesting that you have all these.
That's why I want to be a dragon.
When you see these individuals trying to be something completely opposite of, regard pigmentation, eye color, hair straight, hair curly,
equipment,
what tackle box you were born with, whatever. Okay, that is someone someone thinking that something is wrong, and that you have to change it. Okay.
When in reality,
if someone had, if you had been raised in a way to appreciate yourself the way you are, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. So don't talk to me about closed-minded. Hey, you don't pay attention to science. I know what science is, man.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're tall, you're tall. If you're short, you're short. That's it. You got 10 fingers and 10 toes, all right? Don't try to tell me. That's ridiculous.
Look, I will say this. As far as that whole switching from one tennis team to the other,
right?
If you get my meaning,
I do.
I don't care If you want to do it for cosmetic reasons, you just want
whatever.
to stand out. I don't care. Okay, that just do you. You know.
Right.
Don't be a dick about it. But here's the thing. Don't come talking to me. You know, for an example, this is kind of a hot topic button. Don't come talking to me about how, you know, blankety blank, the ice caps are melting, blankety blank, because you drive a car using gasoline, we're gonna pollute the environment until we all die because of, you know, climate change scientists.
Right.
And then come talk to me about how, oh, actually biology is a social construct. It's like, what did you just say to me? This is why.
Yeah, you can interpret your science any way you want
Yeah.
to, but if I try to interpret different from the way you interpret
you get mad at me.
You're telling me that I don't believe in science.
Yeah, this is why you can't ask questions
you spoiled
anymore.
Brat.
Yeah, this is why you can't ask questions anymore, because people do that. This is also why I'm taking advantage of this whole thing.
People aren't ever
I'm
told
gonna
they're
be a
wrong.
dragon. Yeah. I want to be a dragon.
I want to be a dragon.
Who's gonna stop me?
What's stopping you, man?
Exactly.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
No. But,
yeah, this whole thing, it's like, how about I just be a dragon, okay? How about I just convert to being a scaly? I set shit on fire and I take all your money. Yeah, exactly.
Oops.
I am fire. I am shadow. Bilbo Baggins.
Dildo bagging.
Hey, easy. That movie probably exists, but whatever.
Oh, I'll show it to you.
No.
Anyway.
Thorin.
So.
I am king under the mountain. You see how stupid this is?
It is really stupid. Yeah, it is.
I swear to God, I'm gonna do it.
I used to get annoyed with people, but now it's gotten to, it's almost an epidemic.
Actually, you know what it's actually turned into? It's turned into a South Park sketch.
I knew it.
Exactly.
Effing Canadians.
Yeah, fuck the Canadians.
Fuck the Canadians, you America's hat.
Yeah. This entire thing has turned into a South Park sketch, and no one can tell me otherwise.
Take off, eh?
Yeah, I'm telling you, if it gets far enough to where it doesn't look like it's going to turn around, because I know everything comes in waves.
Oh, it does. No,
But if it looks like it's not going to turn around, I'm definitely committing to this dragon thing. I'm going to get a freaking suit.
It will turn around. These are generational. These are 40 and 80 year cycles.
Yeah.
So 40 and 80 year cycles.
Yeah.
Okay, and the average life expectancy right now is 72. So you really don't get on the other side of more than one of these generational cycles.
3 if you're lucky.
3. Well, 3's 100. You know, 3's what? 120. 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, 120.
So it's like 40 years is generation, then there's 80, and there's 120.
There's 120.
Yeah.
So
that's
it will. I mean, I believe it because it's just a cyclic thing.
Yes. Everything comes and goes in waves.
Yeah.
This is why you and I are not freaking out over everything.
Yeah.
Too.
I mean, it's just like. I'm beginning to understand what is happening to the country in North America where we are. We are experiencing an urbanization.
Okay.
Okay.
Meaning everything is becoming a city?
City-like society, city-like culture.
Geez, no wonder I see such an uptick in people who are like, I want to go hiking through the woods. I want to go harvesting, like nettlebane and roses to, use as a salve when I have a rash.
Basically, the images that are being, for lack of a better word, pushed in the national narrative right now are more urban.
I hate propaganda.
And and it's one thing to be okay with that.
Sure.
But basically what they're saying, the problem comes in is when you look at that and you say, okay, if you're not like us, you're a problem.
And therefore you have to go away.
And therefore you have to not exist and go away.
Yeah.
That's where the problem comes in.
Yeah.
And any pushback on that is being labeled in an extremely negative way.
Oh, of course it is.
You know,
of course it is.
If you were not directly being
directly being targeted by all this?
Targeted by some aspect of something you don't agree with, then
Yeah.
why exactly do you give heat to people who kind of lean in that direction? It's like saying,
Jesus.
you know, I wish there needs to be more jobs in this country, but you have a job.
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of disqualifies you from being too bent out of shape about it. You may not have a job that you enjoy, and that's more on you.
Yeah.
And we've covered that. We've covered that in discussion. You know, you got to get to a point where you have enough faith in yourself to follow your dreams.
Yeah.
And yes, you might in the beginning get paid less, but if it's something you love and enjoy, in time, it'll pay off. It'll accumulate and pay off. So the aspect that I disagree with is demonizing those that come from life in a different perspective.
So basically,
I am not allowed to discount or minimalize some other individual's application to life based on these characteristics.
Yeah.
Then
for them to do the same to you.
Then as far as I'm well, it's not as far as I'm concerned. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
If you want to look at me in the same way, I'll tell you to go step off. I'm not going to be held hostage by that type of mind fuck. Because you're just not gonna. You don't have the equipment to accomplish that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's people. You believe in science, dude. You're talking to the wrong person, because I understand scientific method on a level that the average person does not, and any type of confirmation in science gives you more questions than answers.
Because that's the whole point.
Because that's the whole point. So don't talk to me about science, because you can't even spell it without a spell checker.
The whole point of science is the same point as philosophy. You ask questions, you get answers, and then you question the answers, which leads to more questions. It's self-perpetuating.
It's self-perpetuating. It's not a madness. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, this is why I like both philosophy and science, is because the question leads to an answer, but the answer isn't the end of the line.
Right.
You know,
right. I mean,
you could say religion is the same facet as well, but but that's more in the philosophy section as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, people who are just like, oh, this is the end all be all. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's a door.
It's a door.
Yeah. You
can't reach on to the next rung in the ladder without letting go of the one you're already holding, and that's what science and philosophy is. Hey,
that's exactly
what's
what
this? This is the answer to that question. Okay, but why? And then you keep going and you keep going. And that's just the way it is.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So my friend, and I want to have this conversation with her, but
not at this point.
If she were, it's like what I found out. You leave this area and you go to another region.
Yes.
Where the interaction
is way different.
Is for decades or a generation or two is based.
Tell her to go work in Oakland.
Oh, I tell everybody that. Yep. You know, like there's a couple of dudes that I went to high school with. They're very anti.
What, anti-religious?
The religious foundation of this, or the religion of this area. T-posing, and I tell them leave.
Yeah,
leave. Okay,
because you can tell them.
Because I can tell them that. That's exactly what I did. You know,
yeah, you're not talking out of your ass.
I'm not.
When you tell people to
left.
leave. Yeah,
I was like, man, I'm tired of this. I've had enough of this. And then I lived in places where it didn't have the same foundations to the community, and it was completely different.
Yeah. I remember I remember there was a particular church we went to on the West Coast, which was probably the best church in the universe.
It was pretty good at the time.
Because,
Definitely.
well, here's the thing. I appreciated it because you didn't see one facet of people.
No, you didn't.
didn't just see white people. You didn't just see black people. You saw Indian, Japanese, Chinese, Italian,
Filipino,
French,
Mexican, Nicaraguan. I mean, it was a
true melting pot.
It was a true melting pot.
And I loved it. I loved it.
It was a great place.
Yeah.
I'd never seen anything like it.
I loved it. This is why it's so hard for me.
And it was basically the community coming together.
Yes.
As one.
As one. This is why it's so hard for me personally to find a church around here, because they don't do that.
Well, I mean, and they don't have the same opportunity. Once again, we came. It was a very urban area.
Yeah.
And when I talk about when I have non-positive perspectives of an urban area, it doesn't have anything to do with the combination of people.
Yes.
It has to do with the structure of the society.
Precisely.
I think it weakens people. I think it makes. I think every individual should be.
Yeah.
Should work to be self-sufficient.
Oh, of course.
And I think cities can be a detriment to that sort of thing.
Yeah, this is why I'm so gung-ho on, this is why I'm so gung-ho on, excuse me, maybe not at first, per se, about growing our own food, per se, but having, an herb garden with thyme and scallions and garlic and peppermint, where I could have my own fucking tea.
Right.
Just something to, do. Just to do.
Right.
And, and then people were like, and then stuff like, you can't collect rainwater. And it's like, why?
God, no,
that is the dumbest thing.
One of the dumbest things that you'll
what the fuck do you mean I can't collect rainwater? Why? Because you can't tax it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Regardless of my circumstances, I do not like big government telling me what I can and can't do with nature.
Collecting rainwater is not an inalienable right.
Yeah.
Of a human being.
Yeah, because it's water.
It's water. It's like telling me that I can't breathe this air.
Yeah, Nestle. Shut your ass up, Nestle.
It's but I don't even know how it comes to an art.
I don't know.
Lawyers.
Fucking California. I know it's not just California, but still, it's spread.
It's a disease.
Tell me about it. Yeah. But, sometimes mentalities can actually be a disease, but, But, oh god, I did have a point. I was gonna go into a story, but, when you don't have alcohol for 3 months.
Oh.
And then you just get wiped out by a seltzer.
Well, hey, hallelujah.
So I
can do whatever I want. Woo! No, but
dude,
what I'm saying is people, take a look at what you're involved in. It's
be self-aware.
Try to be self-aware and understand what it is you're dealing with. And it's very hard because if you live in one place, what my friend, my coworker doesn't understand is that she has a good life, and she has, and a lot of that good life is manifested by the society created by people that she may not necessarily agree with.
But you can at least reap the benefits.
But you can reap the benefits of it.
Also, shut the fuck up.
It's kind of like making a lot of money and buying a really nice house in a really big and very nice neighborhood that has a homeowners association.
Oh, a group of Karens?
Yeah, a group of Karens. You're like, man, that bitch won't let me let my grass go more than an inch and a half, and I can't fly this.
But it is a nice neighborhood. neighborhood.
But it's a nice neighborhood.
Honestly.
Okay, I mean, you just have to pick one.
Yeah.
All right,
Honestly and truly, if I was in a situation like that, I would just be like, you know what? I'm buying like 5 acres of land, putting a house right in the center of it, and I'm going to tell all these Karens to get off my property, or I'm going to sick the dogs on them.
Right.
You know, but then again, I don't currently live in Texas, so
I was quite a, in my youth.
Texas is its own country.
I was quite a pain in the ass about stuff like that.
Yes.
I didn't understand
I am currently.
I didn't understand the ramifications or the applications of that type of order.
Yes.
Okay.
But then again,
now,
you left.
If you want to be a rogue and go off on your own, hey, more power to you. That's and I mean, if you have the ability and the strength, I recommend it. But
yeah, this is why I have that urge to basically become a hermit. This is why I'm like, I want my own chickens. I want like a guard donkey. I want
a guard donkey.
Hey! Donkeys apparently are good guard dogs. Same thing with llamas, but I don't think llamas can survive in this. No, actually, that's a dumb question. Yeah, I want a guard donkey to like watch the flock.
Guard donkey.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I want to grow my own herb. I'm gonna name the donkey after Shrek.
Donkey.
I am so blitzed right now.
What's his name? Donkey? No, it's Donkey.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm going to name the donkey after Donkey from Shrek. I am so blitzed right now. I haven't even finished my drink.
Donkey McDonkerton.
Yes. I'm going to name the donkey Shrek.
Shrek. My God.
Yes.
It's a good movie.
Yes, it is. 1, 2, and 4 are the best.
But, there's...
but yeah, I'm like, hermit.
You have to...
I want to live by myself. I want to blast metal at all hours of the night without getting fussed at.
Yeah. And I mean, if... and that's kind of the whole thing. The group by and large...
Yes.
If you live in an area where the group by and large is something that you disagree with, then I say move.
This is why I want to be the hermit.
Don't expect the other 99% to change.
No.
If you want it a certain way, then live that way.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
Yeah, that's what we did. We packed up all our shit in an RV.
In an RV and hit the road.
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah, I still want to do that.
Yeah.
But I do want a piece of land where I can come back to it. Because zoning laws are getting more and more strict, and I had the idea of getting either a van or a small RV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not small enough to house a family, but not big enough to house a family, but definitely big enough to where it has a toilet. Because I need that.
Yeah.
But
and a kitchen.
And a kitchen. That definitely is very important. I need a kitchen, or at the very least, I need a small generator to hook up a hot plate to.
Sure.
At the very least, I had the idea of like I'm gonna get motherfucking RV. I'm gonna put solar panels on the top of it. I'm gonna live everywhere. I'm gonna park it wherever the fuck I want, by the side of the road if I want. But the problem is that you have to have a certain level of income in order to do that. You can't just be a nomad anymore. I mean, you can, but you gotta be careful.
But yeah, you gotta be careful.
Zoning laws. You can't just leave your RV in like a Walmart parking lot overnight in certain places.
There's a very interesting movie on Netflix right now called Nomad Land.
Is that the dude that eats the seeds and dies?
No.
Okay. Because that dude's like, that dude's dead.
It is a very...
Was it follow like a caravan of people or like a group of people who were
an individual who is now technically homeless?
Yeah.
But living out of they've turned their van into a house with 4 wheels.
Yeah.
That they move around in.
I want to watch this. I want tips.
I mean, because you have to understand. I mean,
I want some pro tips.
When you get into that type of lifestyle, and we were in it for a while.
We were.
We just happened to... We met people who had sold everything and then just went out. I just happened to have an income.
Yeah.
people that did that didn't have the ability to earn on the road.
Oh, so they were kind of, in a sense, definitely operating the same way as the Romany people.
Well, they just they didn't have much money.
Yeah.
And they operated that way.
Which is fine.
And, we did too, but it was mostly to save money.
Yes.
But I still had income.
Yeah. But my main thing is that, zoning laws are, getting worse. You still have to pay stuff like gas.
Right. Well, I think you're going to see a big uptick in that type of thing.
How so?
Well, look at the housing and the rental market right now.
Yeah, it's about to crash.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to fucking crash because they can't keep this up.
No, they can't keep it up.
Since the beer flu started, our country basically passed a law that said, hey, if you basically have been, if your job has been terminated because of the beer flu, and you're in a rental situation, obviously there's more legalese along with it, but basically it said that if you have been affected by the beer flu in a sense that you no longer have an income, you do not get to pay rent until this particular bill expires, and this bill basically has an expiration date.
It expired last month, and they re-upped it.
And then they re-upped it.
And I'm not saying pro or con. I'm just saying.
No, they had to do something. They had to do something.
I don't know what the answer is.
Exactly. I'm just telling you.
The fallout. You can't stop the fallout that's going to take place.
No.
There's still going to be a bunch of people without land, without homes, and they're going to be living in and out of vehicles.
And what's worse is that it's not like the rent, the debt just goes away. It's accumulating.
Yeah.
So
it didn't stop.
No, it didn't stop. It's accumulating.
You still have this, you still have this anchor chained to your leg.
Yeah, exactly. So eventually,
and that's something, in view of our provincial existence, we don't have that.
Yeah. So eventually, what's going to happen for these people is this bill is going to expire, and they can't pay the $100,000 in rent.
Yeah, whatever it is, I don't know.
So they have to leave. The landlords, they are out several thousand, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of rent.
I mean, you're talking about...
So they have to get rid of their property.
You're going to end up taking down two particular parts of society.
And we're having another housing market crash in slow motion.
As a general rule of thumb, people that don't pay for what they are living in, as a general rule of thumb, don't. Hey, one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. I don't know what to tell you, but they don't treat it well.
It happens
because they don't own it.
Yes, exactly.
So now they're not only not owning it, they're not paying for using it,
and they know they're going to get kicked out anyway.
And they know they're going to get kicked out anyway. So it would take people very principled and disciplined
to not do anything.
To not take advantage of that.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that people are or are not. I honestly do not know. But the opportunity is more profound when they don't own it and don't have to pay for using it.
Exactly. This is why I'm glad we're not in a situation like that.
No, we're not.
But that doesn't mean we can't see the end of that particular finish line. And it's like, guys, we're going to have a repeat of 2008.
Yeah.
And we're already trying to gut Wall Street for all they're worth with GameStop.
Yeah, you're not going to take Wall Street down.
Not this lifetime.
It's not going to happen.
Watch it.
I'm just telling you. Beat them or join them. You spend a lifetime, you can fight them, or you can join them. That's it.
I get it. God, I'm just like, brr.
Are you done?
I'm not done, per se. I'm just like, brr. Dude, seriously, I went to my trainer yesterday in the morning. I was bloated as heck.
Uh-huh.
I had like half a glass of some kombucha. Because I didn't have enough time to drink anything or have anything that would move my system, like oatmeal.
Right.
I already had chicken and rice leftovers, so had to go with that. And I straight up, in the middle of So I drink the kombucha, I have like the chicken and rice and whatever. I go to the gym and I'm training.
Right.
At some point when I'm doing the leg press and it's basically a barbell squat, except instead of having the bar on your shoulders, you have it on your chest and you have to hold it up with your shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that wasn't fun because the bar dug into my shoulders. Because my shoulders are so freaking big now.
That'll happen.
Yeah, because I got the shoulders from you.
True.
So I'm thirsty, as one gets during training. I have a big gulp of water, and about 5 minutes later, that kombucha comes back and hits me right in the face.
Lovely.
Because it rehydrated all those fermented alcohol macro molecules. And I got buzzed.
That'll happen.
Like, I straight up told my trainer, like, look, I got ucked up. I did not mean for this to happen. Let's just wrap this bitch up. Because it's a bad idea to be buzzed and you go to the gym.
I agree with that.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
So that wasn't fun. No, you don't drink and go to the gym. So I'm just telling you, I got buzzed off of half a glass of kombucha. I am on the floor with this thing.
Bonk.
Bonk.
It'll happen.
Yeah. Sometimes it's fun being a lightweight because it just means you don't have to spend nearly as much on your alcohol.
True.
All right. Now we got all philosophical, and I've lost all point of recognition of what in the hell we were even talking about.
Sure.
Do you want to keep going? Are you cool?
I'm cool.
All right.
I mean, we don't.
Yeah. We don't have to go 2 hours every time.
Well, I just don't want to force it, you know.
And even then, I kind of have to be excused. So, yeah, you good? I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, I'm just, Jesus. I don't come.
I got to throw something out there, and I think there'll be opportunities in the future to talk about it more in depth.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I would suggest like a Patreon paywall podcast.
Yeah, because
because you want to talk about details.
I'm going to have to. I want to talk about it, not use code names. And
yeah,
then
I want to talk about it using code.
I want to go after particular doctrine. I want to go after particular current social dynamics, specifically.
Yeah. What's happening in the culture right now.
In the culture right now.
And I want to talk about this stuff without the code names because sometimes I get so blasted I can't keep up with my own conversation. I don't mean to get this way. It just happens.
What about the beavers?
What about the beavers? I love Brian Regan so much.
Love Brian Regan.
Oh my God. I have never related to someone as hard as I have when he was talking about that joke.
Oh,
Trying to make friends at a cocktail party, gets ostracized by every single group he tries to visit. It's like, yes, that is my life.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah,
Didn't you read my shirt? It says I'm the smartest motherfucker in this room. Okay,
yeah,
you shut up.
Yeah, shut up, bro. Yeah, I have a tendency, anytime I go to hang out, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but oftentimes it does happen, where I show up, nobody wants to talk to me, I try to talk to other people, they kind of shuffle their way around me or away from me, and it's like, well, I guess I'm just going to get toasted and hold up the wall.
That's right.
And I hate that.
It happens.
Yeah. Sometimes being an introvert sucks sometimes, but anyway. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Also, Titans on the DC streaming service sucks.
Titans.
Yes. Oh my God. What the fuck did they do?
Was it a show?
Yes. okay, a couple of years ago.
You mean like Teen Titans?
It's like Teen Titans,
they're
except they're not.
now?
Yeah, they're like adults. I think Beast Boy and Raven, I think, are still in high school, but Starfire
Beast
and Robin
adolescent?
are. I'm gonna take this clothing pin, and I'm gonna jam it.
Don't pin me, bro.
I'm gonna jam it up your left nostril. Anyway, so no, it's not Teen Titans. It's just Titans, and I'm not gonna bash it for the bad CGI at least in the first season. I'm not gonna do that. All I know is when I first saw the trailer, it looked cringy as hell.
Okay.
Because Robin's all like, man, fuck Batman. He actually says fuck Batman in the trailer for this TV show. And it's like, oh, that is just all sorts of cringy. And as unfortunately, he went completely dormant, which I hate. As my favorite Australian mug of ale once said... He says, now there is nothing wrong with fan fiction, and that's kind of what Titans gives the vibe off of. It looks like fan fiction.
Right.
He says it is not when you call something fan fiction, you are not denoting the bad. You are referring to the amateur. There is nothing wrong with fan fiction in the fact that you are a budding young storyteller, a budding young author, and you're using someone else's playground and toys to help hone and craft your own style. The cover band.
That's legit. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think Stephen King, he wrote covers and sequels to like H.P. Lovecraft stories.
He did.
And the comics that he used to read when he was sick.
He did.
Everybody does that. It's a cover band.
Right.
You know? He said, that is perfectly fine. What is not fine is a TV executive bursting into the room, sees your Teen Titans adult alternate universe story, and goes, Eureka! This is fucking genius! And that is exactly what Titans is. It is this fan-fiction-y, cringy. Now, it's not 100% like this, but there's like a good 30 to 35% where it is like this. There's about 60-ish really good writing.
Is it really like social narrative?
Not quite.
Like to the sickening point? Not
quite. It gets to that line.
What was that?
But it stops itself from crossing it a couple times.
Oh, what was that? The Harlequin 2, Birds of Prey? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have seen it. It's like, what the fuck?
No, you need to watch it. I mean, the pandering just destroys the whole thing. It's like line after tick, 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 line of pandering. It's ridiculous. It's like, come on, guys. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't work this much dialogue into the story about whatever it is narrative you're trying to establish, just stop and let the damn thing go. For crying out loud, we get it.
Well, here's the thing.
Right?
Here's
women be shopping. You know, it's like, come on.
Yeah, we got to figure out what the male equivalent of women be shopping is, because sometimes that's necessary too.
Guys be hunting. I don't know.
We can work with that. Guys be hunting. I'm writing that down. Guys be hunting.
Yeah, but or guys be truck driving or something like that.
I like hunting. It's the same syllables. Okay.
Okay.
Guys be. Wait, that's a Y. God, I'm gone. Anyway, no. I don't mean that it panders to a specific audience. What I mean is that it is. I'll give you an example. Okay. Robin, this is let's see, there's been about 4 Robins. This is Dick Grayson. It was Dick Grayson was the first Robin.
The first.
Yeah, from the Flying Graysons, his parents from the Trapeze.
Right.
After him was Jason Todd, who got unalived by the Joker. Spoilers, even though that's been about, 20 years, 30 years ago. Then there was Tim Drake. I don't remember what his deal was.
But he was Nightwing.
No. Dick Grayson eventually became Nightwing.
Oh, okay.
Then there was Tim Drake. I don't remember what his deal was.
No, I don't either.
And then there was Batman's son, Damian. And
I don't know that one.
Yeah, that's the newest one.
Okay.
That's the latest one. That's the latest Robin is Damian Wayne.
Damian Wayne.
Yes. Because Batman porked Ra's al Ghul's daughter, and that's where that kid came from.
Ugh.
It is canon.
All right.
And if you really want to be nitty-gritty about it, Terry McGinnis is technically a Robin, even though he's a replacement for Batman. I want a Batman Beyond movie, motherfucker! I want them to bring back Michael Keaton as Old Man Batman because he is perfect!
I am getting the butterfly net as you speak.
Yes. Anyway, so back to Titans, the show on the DC streaming service that I yo-ho-hoed and all that. It's not pandering to a specific crowd.
Uh-huh.
It is just cringy as fuck. Like, in the trailer, just to give you an example, in the trailer, let's see, Beast Boy, he's fine. He's probably, like, the best character. The guy that got to play Beast Boy. He kind of helps establish the Doom Patrol TV show,
Right.
which the Doom Patrol TV show, it's weird, but they go all in on it.
All right.
Like, there's no tongue-in-cheek. There is some tongue-in-cheek, but it's not like they're trying to pull back and be dignified.
Well, I'm
in 1
glad
second.
you told me.
I'm just saying, they go all in for the Doom Patrol, and I love it.
Sure.
It's like, yes, you didn't hold back. So Beast Boy is fine. Robin, at first I thought it was some cringy, oh, you're not my real dad, Batman. But that element is there, but they actually deal with it in a pretty good, well-written way.
Right.
Where it's like, Dick Grayson was orphaned at like 12 or whatever. He grows up with Batman. And
you don't have to give me a play-by-play.
Yeah, maybe. So, they deal with, he grows up and they deal with him in a pretty well-written manner. Starfire, I don't know what even in the hell they did with Starfire. But for some reason they gave Starfire amnesia, but she's like a fucking alien who is indestructible, and it's like, why did you do that?
Gotta have a weakness.
Yeah, I guess you gotta have weakness. Apparently, everything except Starfire's brain is about the durability of diamond. Because sure. And then Raven, who is just this moody teenager. Now, granted, it's understandable because she's like half demon or whatever. But in the trailer, this is how cringy the show can approach. It's like in the trailer, Raven is like, sometimes when I feel the darkness, it feels good. Oh, God, what the hell? That is so bad. Oh, it's so bad.
It's bad.
Yeah, that's oh God, that's so bad. So the show is about 30 to 35% that. And the other 60 to 65%-ish it's actually pretty good. The first season is worth watching. I don't recommend you watch it. Because they spend the entire first season building up the antagonist. It's like, oh, we have to capture Raven because she's like the key to this guy coming back to the planet Earth and everyone's gonna die. And then they kill him in like the second episode of season 2. Just so they can fast forward to Deathstroke. It's like, guys, you spent the entire first season building up your antagonist, and then you just have the main character backhand him into another dimension, and then he's gone. And then he's gone. No, that's not how you do this. Oh my God, Titans is so bad. It is fan fiction-y like crazy. Ugh.
Sure.
Don't watch it.
Don't.
Watch Doom Patrol instead. It's weird as a motherfucker, but at least they follow that through line, you know?
Yeah.
They commit. Titans has an identity crisis. Alright, I am done. I had to get that out.
Apparently.
I didn't want to spend 2 hours on it like I do with Hannibal, but, yeah, you know, had to get it out. Alright, I'm gonna go do stuff now.
This house is at peace now.
Yeah, because I saged the fuck out of it. I burnt white sage everywhere, I burnt incense, and then I played all that metaphysical Tibetan singing bowl music on my phone.
Sure.
Just to make sure.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna half-ass this. I'm gonna whole-ass it.
Boba.
Mm-hmm. I want some boba. I could go for some boba right now. I might make myself some boba.
Anyway.
Yeah. Alright, I'm good.
Yeah.
You had to get your thing out. I had to get my thing out. It's like under an hour 30. You're fine.
Yeah. Cool.
Alright, I got stuff to do, and I think you got stuff to do.
I'm sure.
Like sleep.
Sleep.
No, that's optional because you're off tomorrow. Anyway.
Correct.
Alright, so no sleep till Brooklyn.
No sleep till Brooklyn.
I gotta sleep all this up before I go to work. Anyway, well, that's it, folks. I was your host, Bel-E.
And I was your co-host, Mr. Scratch.
And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Bye.
Goodbye.